I've got what everyone is looking for. I've got the secret sauce, the magic bullet to not just stay alive until 25, but how can you thrive in 2024 so that you're alive in 2025? Welcome back to another episode of All or Nothing in Real Estate. I'm your host, Matt Smith, the founder of All or Nothing in Real Estate. This podcast is a movement to give back to this amazing industry that has given so much to me and my family. Today, we have a very special episode. Stay tuned. You're going to love it. I've got what everyone is looking for. I've got the secret sauce, the magic bullet to not just stay alive until 25, like you hear going around everywhere, but how can you thrive in 2025 or thrive in 2024 so that you're alive in 2025? And so, we're going to dive into, like I said, a proven formula, the secret sauce, the magic bullet that everyone is looking for. So stay tuned.
Yeah, when Matt shared this with me, I was like, we have to share this to everyone out there because this is what everyone's looking for.
That's right. I love it. So Colin, by the way, Colin's here as always.
I'm excited to tackle this topic today. Like Matt said, this is the magic bullet that everybody's been looking for. Yeah. So let's dive on in. What are we looking at? So I was recently at an event, and I had the privilege to be on a panel to speak. It was a very large event. And on the panel, our panel was on change as a catalyst. All the changes in the marketplace, all the changes in technology. What are you doing as a team leader, a broker owner to stay ahead of those changes and still win despite all those changes? And there's a lot of great insights and there's a lot of great input from amazing leaders that I had the privilege to be on that panel with. But there was one thing in particular that really stood out that and if you know me, I didn't keep my mouth shut. If I disagree, I'm gonna sound like you.
Yeah. If I disagree, I just think it's healthy debate is healthy, right? Yeah. And so one of the people said in our prep call for this event, well, everyone's saying stay alive until 25, right? And so I think we just got to weather the storm. That's my mantra. We're just going to weather the storm. And like I looked at him and I'm like, what did you say? Like, I was just confused. And so he repeated it again. And, like, I did my best to not be disrespectful and laugh because I think he's a great guy. I just think that quote is laughable. Stay alive until 25? That's your business plan? You're a leader for agents in this marketplace, and your fucking business plan is we're going to stay alive until 25? No. We're going to fucking dominate. Change is an opportunity, and we're going to find a way to use this change as an opportunity for our agents, for our team to take more market share, to grow our business, not just weather the storm and stay underneath it and let's see where the chips fall. Like, really? Like that was, I was just completely thrown off. And so because of that, I thought, how about I find the magic bullet, the secret sauce, the things that I'm seeing agents doing on our team, agents that I'm coaching, things that I've done personally and am doing personally to take advantage of the opportunities of these changes and challenges that we have.
Well, because, I mean, how motivating is that for agents that you say, well, hopefully we'll make it through?
Yeah, just, hey, you better start saving. It's going to be rough, right? Like, there may be truth to that. And that maybe that's a part of your message.
Right.
Because maybe you need to not spend like you spent when a market was better. Right. Sure. Like let's be smart. Let's be strategic. But let's also have a plan on how to win.
Because there will be winners in this new market. There will be
people
that will adapt to it and say, all right, what do people need? How can we best serve in this new market? And they're going to dominate. So why can't that be you?
That's right. Well, it's because your mindset, right? And because your mindset, well, I'm just going to weather the storm and see what happens.
Right.
And if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. No.
And by the way, this productivity hack isn't just mindset. That is a huge part of it. But we'll get to the tactical here.
Yeah, but it starts with mindset.
It does.
If you don't have if you have the mindset of I'm just gonna let's see what happens. That's hack number one for you is look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Yep. Like that is not the mindset to have to win in today's market.
Well, let's use a quick sports analogy. You go into a game with that. We'll see what happens versus we're going to win. Like you've already lost before you've even shown up to the game because you've already said, well, if we win, great. And if we don't, who cares? We had fun. Like, no.
Yeah. It just blew my mind, man. So, sorry I got off a little tangent there, but that just as a coach, as a leader, as someone that truly wants to give back to agents in this industry, it honestly And again, no disrespect to this person. I think he's a great guy. And maybe it was out of context, and maybe our discussion helped him make adjust. I don't know. But I just could not disagree with that statement more. And it just made me want to share that on this podcast, as far as if that is your mindset, if that is your mantra, if your leader is saying something like that, I just think it's worth looking in the mirror and saying, do I have the right mindset? Am I with the right leader? Am I with the right company? Because I'll tell you right now, we are prepping for our best year ever in 2024, and we're going to fucking make it happen. And we've got a proven plan, proven processes that are going to make it happen. Is it going to require us to change our behaviors? Is it going to require us to change our activity? Is it going to require us to change our mindset? Absolutely. Yeah. But change isn't a bad thing, right? And we're choosing to change because we're choosing to win. We're not choosing to just sit down and let's see what happens. And I think there's just an adjustment there. And so anyway, let's dive into the proven plan. Yeah. The magic bullet, if you will. Everyone's looking for the magic bullet. So for the first time ever on this show, we're going to give you the magic bullet.
Everyone's looking to survive through it. You're like, no, this is the recipe to thrive and dominate in this new market. Tell us.
Right.
Well,
so
what do we got?
Before I jump into that, there's your teaser. Before I jump into that, I just think about it for a second. If you're someone that has a similar mindset to me and you're like, no, we're going to use this as an opportunity, we're going to dominate, think about what your competition is doing right now. If you're a leader, there are competitors out there right now that are thinking, oh my God, how are we going to survive? Are you that person, or are you the person that is going to figure out a way, figure out a proven process, increase your standards, increase your expectations, increase your accountability, because that's what this market needs. That's what your agents need. They need a leader to model and demonstrate what it takes in this marketplace. They don't need a leader that's going to say, well, start saving your money. That's just not what this marketplace needs. Those people are going to become another statistic. I've said this before on the show. I'll say it again. This is before the end of the year, but by the end of the year, when dues are due again and agents have to get out their pocketbook to write a check to be a real estate agent, my prediction is we'll have over 100,000 agents that left the business this year. All of them have a similar mindset to this. Well, it got hard. I didn't know what to do. I'm going to give you the plan on what to do. So this is a massive opportunity. So step number one, by the way, this requires 15 hours per week.
15 hours.
You give me a 15-hour work week and you can not only win, but dominate in this marketplace. 15 hours per week.
That sounds way too good to be true.
It's not. That's why I call it the magic bullet, because it sounds too good to be true. Here is what is cool about this 15-hour work week that I've developed is anyone can do it, but not everyone will. Anyone can do this, but not everyone will. But anyone that does do this and does it consistently and has the discipline and the consistency to do this day in and day out, week in and week out, they will win and dominate in this marketplace. So let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do it.
15-hour work week. Number one, and guys, this is super complex stuff, let me tell you, like revolutionary. Number one, 15 minutes educating yourself on the market each and every day.
15 minutes of education on the market, things happening in your area every day.
Understand national trends, local trends, new properties, price reduction, neighborhood price points, days on market. Be the expert. The expert, the expert, the expert. There are so many people out in this industry right now that don't put in the time and effort to understand the data so that they can be the resource for the clients. We have to be the expert, and it starts with daily execution of education. We have to intake that knowledge so that we can be a through point of that knowledge for the consumer.
Right.
And so if we aren't the expert, guess who is? Mainstream media. And what narrative are they pushing?
Fear.
They're pushing fear. They're pushing overwhelm. They're pushing chaos. Anything that gets clicks.
Yeah.
I want our people, our communities, our buyers, our sellers, our agents to know the actual truth, the realities of the real estate market, the data, not the drama. And so it's my responsibility to know it inside and out. And it's yours as well.
Well, and you think of from a client's perspective, you say, so what would you expect would happen in the next 6 months if I was to buy this now or something? The agent says, I'm not really sure, actually. Versus an agent that says, well, based on these trends in this area, likely we can predict it will head this. I'm not a fortune teller, but this is where signs are pushing. you're going to have so much more confidence and you're going to want to move forward.
That's right. 100%. Yeah. But how many agents, whenever someone says, well, why should I buy right now? Why should I sell right now? What's the market going to do in 3 months and 6 months? How many of them are like, what?
Versus
you don't want to write an offer today? Are you sure?
Yeah. Versus you consume that every day, you know it in and out. You're like, this is what's been happening. I follow it daily. Here's a video update in the middle of the week explaining what's going on. That's the communication.
100%. And so it sounds super simple, and it is. Everyone can, again, anyone can do it. But how many people are listening to this right now are dedicating 15 minutes a day? That's it. 15 minutes a day to educate yourself. How many?
Yeah. You'll say, oh yeah, I'll do that. You do it for 2 weeks and then you're done.
Well, I read that article the other day.
Yeah.
So you read one article in the last month and you think you're the expert? This market is changing quickly. There's all kinds of moving parts. So if you want some resources, first and foremost, you need to be the local expert. So make sure you are studying local market trends in your local MLS. You need to know your market stats. You need to know your county stats, your neighborhood stats. You need to understand it like the back of your hand. Your average sales price, your median sales price, your days on market, how many price reductions. All of these things you need to know, and you need to know it like the back of your hand. Mm-hmm. After you understand that, you can look at the bigger picture. National trends. Keeping Current Matters is a great resource. I'm not affiliated, it's just a great resource. Keeping Current Matters has all kinds of stuff. It has great marketing pieces. If you pay, there's free stuff you can get, but there's a paid one that I would recommend. If you want to be the education source, that's a lot of stuff that you can rip off and deploy. Mm-hmm. And so make sure that you are the expert. So education, 15 minutes a day.
All right, that's step one. You said there's 5. So what's
step 2? Number 2 is 15-minute. Let me go through the steps and then we'll explain them all.
Okay.
So step number 1 is 15 minutes of education to educate yourself on the market each and every day. 15 minutes. Number 2, 15-minute huddle with your team or your coach. And I'll explain what that means when we come back. Number 3, 30 minutes of role play. If you're not practicing with each other, you're practicing on your clients, and they deserve better. 30 minutes of role play. Number 4, 1 hour of tunnel vision, time blocked prospecting each and every day, 5 days a week. 1 hour. And number 5, the fortunes in the follow-up. 1 hour of follow-up Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. I don't care what 5 days, 5 days a week. 1 hour prospecting, 1 hour follow-up. And again, when I say 1 hour prospecting, 1 hour follow-up, it isn't, the time went by in an hour, but I only called 3 people. Mm-hmm. That is not what this is. This is blocked out tunnel vision. I know I have my call list. I have my script. I know exactly what I'm going to say, who I'm going to call, and I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to be the educator. I'm going to be the resource. Real estate is a contact sport, especially when you're prospecting. The lead conversion rates are like, for some companies, are like 0.5%.
Yeah.
So quit spending all the time to try to study everything, and then they don't even answer the damn phone, right?
Yeah.
And so, you have to have role. That's why role play is important.
Yep.
You have these things internalized so you can pivot in these conversations. Here's the best script on the planet, by the way. You base your next question on their response. Get you through any phone call. I'll let you in on another secret. They're just a person on the other end of the phone. They are just a human being. Have a conversation. Are scripts and dialogues important? Absolutely they are. Mm-hmm. They are crucial. But they are, if you don't have a great conversation, you can have the best script in the world and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to build relationships, you have to build rapport, and you have to have a conversation with a human being first and foremost. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what to say with the script, how would you talk to your friends? Talk to people. Mm-hmm. And then gather your script and merge that into the conversation.
100%, because they can hear you overthinking and becoming a robot and trying to find the next spot on your script.
So think about it. If you don't believe me, when's the last time you got a call from a salesperson? How did you know it was a salesperson?
You could hear it in their breath.
They had commission breath, number 1.
Yep.
But they were reading off a damn paper, giving you a script.
Yep. Hello, Matt. How are you doing today? I'm calling from so-and-so company about... Goodbye.
Click.
Yep.
How many people are you getting clicked on and you're mad because you're just being a salesperson instead of trying to help and lead these people through the biggest financial decision of their lives?
Right.
It's on us. It's not on them.
Dang. So the 5 steps, I'm going to repeat them one more time. We got 15 minutes per day of being the local expert, 15 minutes of a huddle with your team, 30 minutes of role play, then number 4, 1 hour of tunnel vision with prospecting, and then number 5, 1 hour of follow-up. So let's go back. We hit number 1. with being the local expert. Let's go to number 2 with being 15 minutes of a huddle with your team or coach.
Yeah, so I think this is a crucial one. I almost didn't put it in here, but I think it's very, very important. And here's why. I think as an industry, especially coming off of the market that we're coming out of, is one of the things that is missing is accountability. And so I think having an accountability group type setting every single day will be crucial to your success. If you're a single agent, find someone else, find a mentor, find a coach, find another agent in your office. And here's the daily huddle script. Is what are you going to, Colin, what are you going to do today? What is your commitment for today? Specific, measurable, actionable. Awesome. And help coach if that will move forward in the business, right? Because some people need coaching around. It needs to be specific. I want to
make more calls today. No, how many calls are you going to make?
How much by when? How much by when? It has to be specific and measurable. And is it going to actually move the needle?
Yes.
So anyway, so that's part of that. And then you check in from the day before. Did you or did you not? No judgment. No explanation needed. Nope, I didn't. Okay, cool. Are you ready to recommit today?
Yeah.
Now, if it becomes a habit, we need to have a different discussion.
Right.
But you have to win the day. You want to win the week. You want to win the month. You want to win the year. It starts with winning the day today. Set yourself up for success. Build a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You wouldn't be in this industry if you planned to fail. So have a damn plan and have someone that cares for you enough that's willing to hold you accountable. Another benefit of the huddle each and every day is you can share wins, you can share victories, you can share challenges, so you can collaborate through these trying and challenging times together. Now, don't turn it into a venting session, into gossip, into drama. However, we can help each other in a group setting if we set commitments to each other. We have the peer-to-peer accountability, huge. But we can also help others through challenging times, or others can help us through a difficult situation or something that
or share information on the market. If you're all doing your 15 minutes of research, you could all pool your resources.
Like as an example, I'm going to share it in the sales meeting today. This is proof. I'm demonstrating this. I educate myself every day. How many agents know by the time this comes out? Hopefully you all do, but I'd be willing to bet more than half the people listening to this don't know that it was announced yesterday that the feds are predicted to drop rates 6 times in 2024. 6 times. Wow. That's a massive breakthrough for our business.
Yeah.
Massive. But how many agents don't educate themselves and don't know? How many buyers and sellers right now would that information help? All of them.
Yes.
Every fucking one of them. But if you don't know it and you aren't a vessel to pass that education information through, you are not there to help and serve them like you should be with the biggest purchase or sale of their life.
Right. Well, and also, if you eventually get that information to them and you're number 20, who cares? Yeah, exactly. You're not the expert anymore. You're just one of us. Like, you're a local.
100%. Cool. All right, so number 3, role play. 30 minutes of role play a day. So if I were to ask, and this was I've done this in front of hundreds of people, how many of you here want to get paid like a pro athlete? Everyone raises their hand. Yep. That's why you're in real estate. You want to make money. There's nothing wrong with it. I love money. I want more money, and I want everyone to have more money.
Right.
With more money, I can help more people. However, with more money comes more responsibility and comes more discipline. The most wealthy people on the planet are the most disciplined people. And so you have to realize that, let's use a sports analogy. Let's say that Tom Brady, whether you like him or you don't, he's the best quarterback of all time. You can't debate it and win, right? Like you can say, no, I don't like him, but it's undeniable he is the best of all time. He's won the most Super Bowls. Like that's the measuring stick.
Yeah.
He's won it all. And so, but if you ask Tom Brady's teammates, did Tom Brady focus more on practice or the games? Did he focus more in the game, watching his game film, or studying in the game on the sidelines? He was the most attentive when he was watching game film. Like I have the privilege of being a very close relationship with John Cheplack. He's become a great friend. He's a coach for me. He's a mentor for me.
Yeah.
And he knows Heath Evans, who was a running back for the Patriots, that won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. And Heath Evans said, like that, when I was with the Patriots, it was the most miserable time of my career, but that's why we won. And so, of course, why was it miserable?
Yeah.
Right? And he said it was miserable because we did the same boring, monotonous shit over and over and over again. He said, and everyone thinks it's Belichick that is the hard ass. Brady was 10 times worse. Wow. He said, as an example, I'm a running back.
Yeah.
And so it would be as simple as Brady handing me the ball so I could run. It's not even throwing. I'm not running a route. Like, I'm right here, hand me the ball.
Yeah.
He said we would run it over and over and over, and he'd say a centimeter to the right, a centimeter, half a second slower, half a second quicker. Oh, you were too close to the right, you were too close to the left. And he said we didn't practice until we got it right. We practiced until it was so ingrained, over and over and over and over again, till we couldn't get it wrong. That's the difference in average people and extraordinary people. We think we need to practice until we get it right. But what we really need to do is practice until we can't get it wrong. I was recently at a conference. I had the privilege to speak at John Cheplak's Maverick conference, and there was a quote there. There's what is her name? Her name was Cameron. I believe Carmen. And she was a brilliant speaker, a very great communicator, and she teaches like kids how to do musical instruments. She's like a world-class instrument musician, whatever you call that, right? And she, just the way she articulates her message is great. And I had a lot of takeaways from that. We'll probably do a podcast breaking that down because there's so much good stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing in particular that she shares, a quote, really stood out to me. And so this quote is really, really common, but she gave me a different perspective that I think is very relevant. So, fall down 7 times, stand up 8, right? Like, if you fall down, it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about getting up.
Yeah.
Right? I've said that over and over again. But what happens is we misinterpret. Until this event, misinterpreted that quote. I interpreted it as, because this quote's like hundreds and hundreds of years old. I don't remember who said it, but she went into depth on who said it and where it originated from. As I read it as, well, you get knocked down 7 times, you just got to keep getting up. Keep getting up. How she articulated and how it was intended was, no, you got it wrong 7 times. You have to get it right 8 times to remove the memory of the 7 times you did it wrong and fell down. You fail 7 times, get up 8. That means you got to do it 8 times correctly and perfectly, not once. It's not the standing up that matters. It's the standing up over and over and over again, so that you get it right more times than you got it wrong. So your memory fades and you've done it right more times than you've done it wrong. How many times do we get one script correct? Yeah. We have one great phone call and we think, we've got it mastered.
Right.
But how many is in the back of our head in our memory that we've not done perfectly, that we've not done correctly, that we didn't get the appointment? And we have to do the right thing more times than we do the wrong thing. And we have it wrong as humans. At least I did. Yeah. Like, I interpret it as like, well, I got the phone call right. What else do I need? I got the script nailed. Yeah. I'm good now. No, you have to have the script nailed and do it so many times over and over and over again that you haven't done it perfectly more times than you've done it incorrectly.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, because it becomes just a natural response at that point. If you're doing it so many times that you can't even get it wrong, then if you go off script in the middle of a conversation, or you something else is going on in the background, you're distracted, you're low energy, any number of those other things that can and will get in the way, you're able to default and run on autopilot almost with the conversation because you already know where the direction's going because you've done it over and over and over again, that it's just muscle memory.
100%. 100%. It's not just about getting it right. It's about getting it right over and over and over again. Like, it's repetition. Yeah. Like, and she went deep in the science, right? Like, I need to restudy that presentation, and because there's a lot there that I'll be honest, I had wrong. It just gave me a new perspective, and I just think that it's very, very relevant to why role play is so crucial. Right. Is like, it's not about, oh, hey, you had one great phone call, Colin. Right. Like, congratulations. I'm super proud of you for doing that. Yeah. Seriously, genuinely, I am. Yeah. However, if I, as a leader, let you get away with that and think that that is the end goal, I'm ultimately letting you down. Right. Right. Like, it's not about getting it right once. What if you could get it right every time? We're never going to be perfect, right? But what if we could be close to it? Right. And it's so, if you fail 7 times, you have to stand back up the 8th time. So for number 1, but you got to do it 7 more. It's not. So don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. And I think we misinterpret sometimes. We forget. Maybe not misinterpret is the wrong word. I think sometimes we forget. Especially if you're on a high-performing team and there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of transactions, there's a lot of families that we have the privilege of serving.
Yeah.
But we have never lost sight of what we get the privilege of doing each and every day is helping people with the biggest purchase or sale of their lives. It matters. Every single one of them. And if we don't practice with each other, we're practicing on the clients, and they just deserve better.
Yeah.
I can't say it any better than that.
They deserve better, and you owe it to yourself even to bring that level of professionalism that you can and are capable of. Love that. So that's step one, again, 15 minutes per day, being the expert on your area. 15-minute, or number 2, 15 minutes of huddle with your team. Number 3, 30 minutes of role play. Number 4,
1 hour prospecting. Surprise, surprise. Real estate is a contact sport. Prospecting is required. So, especially in today's marketplace. When I say 1 hour prospecting, what do I mean? I think a lot of people have this part wrong, and they think prospecting is passive. And it's like, well, if I get a lead, I'll call them. Well, I called that one person one time, and they didn't answer, so they don't want to talk to me. Prospecting needs to be blocked out 1 hour. It's called a power hour. You have to block it out for 1 hour. Set your timer on your phone. Let me back up. Step 1, get your list.
Yep.
Who am I going to call? Prospecting, my definition is people I haven't talked to yet. So you got to know how to lead generate. If you're not with a team that has leads, we got plenty. Come see us.
Right.
We got too many. A great problem to have.
Yeah.
But the prospecting is anyone that you haven't already qualified. What do I mean by qualified? I haven't had a valid conversation and figured out what their timeline is to buy or sell real estate. Most of them probably we haven't talked to at all yet. And so what is cool about prospecting is I can truly pack in a lot of numbers and be efficient with my time because I'm having the same conversation with everyone because none of them have been qualified yet. And so I'm going to upload my call list. I'm going to have a dialer so that I upload them, and I'm going to go through and call it's a contact sport, as many as I can. Now, when I have a conversation, I'm going to go deep in the conversation. I'm not going to waste the conversation, but too many people get stuck and they want to spend 10 minutes studying. Oh, this lead, Colin, just came in. He's looking at this property. He's looking in this area. Oh, yeah, he's opened this. And they scroll and they study and they study and they study and they study. And then they call Colin. And they don't call him in the first 5 minutes. Mistake number 1. But then they call Colin, and Colin doesn't answer, and they just wasted 15 minutes for one phone call. And then you wonder why you're not getting traction in your prospecting.
Yeah. Versus just make the call, get it started, and learn as you go.
Colin's just a person. The conversation is more important than the script.
And it's good for them to even restate the things that they're looking for in their own mind. That they're like, oh, yeah, I am looking for this kind of property.
Colin, you're brilliant. So what that technique is called is mirroring and matching. And so, like I said earlier, the best phrase you will ever learn in scripting and dialogues is base your next question on their response. And one of the ways that you do that is through mirroring. So Colin says that he's looking in Rolla, Missouri. Oh, Colin, you're looking in Rolla. I repeat what you said. That gives me time to recuperate. It confirms that I heard what Colin was saying. And then I go to the next part of the script, the next part of the conversation. And so it's so important that you understand the basics of dialogues with humans way more than the actual script of what you're saying. And that's what I mean when I say the conversation is way more important than the script. And so, but the point of the 1 hour power hour, guys, real estate's a contact sport. You got to get in the numbers. Like, not that I want it to be like a call night atmosphere. By the way, in our call nights, the best ones that we've ever had, 3 rings and you hang up. We ain't got time to leave voicemails. We ain't got we're knocking through these people. On to the next one, on to the next one. And you need to have a version of that mindset in your prospecting hour. Like, I'm looking for the people that are going to answer the phone and want to talk to me about buying or selling real estate. That's who I'm looking for. I'm not wasting my time studying all these people that aren't going to answer. And so I think it's just really, really important that you have the right mindset in prospecting. We get in our own way sometimes and we don't download a list. We don't know who we're going to call. We don't know what we're going to say. We say, all right, it's my prospecting hour. What do? I guess there's a lead. Let me see. What are they looking at? And then I guess I could call them. And you get out your phone and you start dialing. And then you get Facebook comes on.
I can hear your brain switching and constantly going, where do I do next? And what do I do? And that's so inefficient. Like it makes it so much more difficult than it needs to be.
100%. We try to outsmart and outcomplicate the work. Mm-hmm. It's simple. Keep it simple. Simple scales, simple wins. Mm-hmm. I live by the principle, keep it simple, stupid, because I'm not very bright, and so I got to have it simple. Right. Simple solves the complex. The more simple you can break something down, the more success you will have, period.
Oh, you were breaking that down also with that. So you said part one was get your list first, but then you said next part was the timer.
Next, yes. So part one is get your list, get your script. Mm-hmm. You know who you're going to call, you know what you're going to say. You have it uploaded into your dialer, and then you grab your phone, you set a timer, you put your phone on airplane mode, you set a timer for 60 minutes, and you put it the hell out of reach so you can't see it until the timer goes off. And you have tunnel vision. You are dialed in, tunnel vision, on nothing but making those calls to those people that you pre-decided were in your list with the script you already know you're going to say. Mm-hmm. And you just go through the numbers. I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. Maybe not on day one. Mm-hmm. Maybe not on day two. But over a 90-day period, you adjust your prospecting, your results will be night and day difference.
100%. We talked about the analogy of going to the gym. You don't see the muscle on the first day. You don't see the six-pack, but 90 days later, you will see progress. And that's exactly how this works here.
100%. You got to have that delayed gratification, right? But you got to put in the work first.
Yeah.
All right, now number 5, 1 hour of follow-up. The fortunes in the follow-up. And I saved the best for last. All of the other ones are important, and you have to do. This one doesn't matter without the other 4, but the other 4 are not near as effective without this one. Mm-hmm. And so they work in unison. But the fortune is in the follow-up. If I were to go back and look, and I'm going to put my coaching hat on for a second. Mm-hmm. If I were to analyze some of the top teams throughout the nation that I've had the privilege of looking behind the curtains of their business, ours included, what is the biggest missing piece over the last 3.5 years? Mm-hmm. And it's follow-up. Because we didn't have to. We did not have to follow up, and we forgot how. We forgot how important it is. We forgot how to do it. And I think so many agents don't follow up because they don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. So let's break this down. Number 1, let's understand why follow-up is important. The average person buys between the 9th and 12th contact. So if you called them twice, that's not good enough. No. Right? Like, that's just not going to work.
Well, I followed up in the 3 times, and you're like, well, you still got another 6 minimum.
You're a third of the way there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, keep going. And I just think that we think that we got used to, and it's no one's fault, but I'm just going to speak the truth. We got spoiled. Everyone had a sense of urgency to buy or sell real estate during the pandemic. They just were urgent. And guess what? People are not urgent right now. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That is okay. Yep. We are in the business of helping people with the biggest purchase or sale of their lives. We need to allow them to be patient. Mm-hmm. We need to build rapport, build relationship, build trust, so that when they are ready to make the decision, we are the first choice.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you do that by educating yourself on the market, by making these consistent phone calls, and following up in a consistent cadence. Mm-hmm. And so I could do a whole episode on follow-up, so I won't go down that rabbit hole. But guys, you have to follow up. You have to be consistent. Here's a little inside information.
Yeah.
Some of the top teams in the world, I have the privilege of being in these rooms and all around the country. The agents that are winning at the highest levels, we have agents that are 30% up this year in a market that's down 40%. I mean, complete domination. Complete domination. This is the biggest needle mover for them, is their follow-up game is on point, and they are intentional about it, and they do it every single day. Mm-hmm. And they follow up with intent, they follow up with value, they follow up with the education they're feeding themselves, and they're consistently depositing and depositing and depositing so that when that person is ready, that they are the obvious first choice. Let me let you know another little secret of how this really works. Mm-hmm. Colin says he wants to buy a house in 12 months from now. Colin doesn't know when he's going to buy a house. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't.
I'll follow up with you in 12 months then. You're like, no.
You have to find a way to deposit value into. So, Colin, what is it that has you moving to the area? Why? What are you looking for? Why are you looking for it? What is his motivation, right? What is his pain? What is his pleasure? And I'm going to get to know Colin. I'm going to build a relationship. And before I get off that phone, I'm going to set another appointment with Colin. And it's probably just going to be a follow-up phone call. Well, Colin, I know you're not in a rush. I love to stay in tune with the market update. I think interest rates are a big talking point right now. How about I call you in a couple weeks and give you an update on the interest rates so you know where you stand? How does Tuesday at 4 work?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you being on top of that for me and keeping my best interest
And guess
in
what?
mind.
If Colin's like, nah, I'm not really interested in interest rates. He is interested in interest rates. I just didn't do a good enough job at providing the value. And so guess what I'm going to do anyway? I'm still going to send Colin articles. And when he opens it, or it gives me an excuse, hey, Colin, I just found this really great article on interest rates. I just sent it over to you. Did you get it? Right? Like I'm following up with value. I'm following up with information and education to move the needle forward for the prospect.
The thing you said earlier, you said most agents don't know how to follow up. And you just hit on that perfectly.
Yes.
You said the best way to follow up, provide value. Give them something of value that they latch onto so that they know you, like you, and trust you 10 times more.
Let me call myself out here. I used to be this agent. Never start your scripts or your text with, hey, I'm just following up. I'm just checking in. No one wants to be followed up with. No one wants to be checked in with. That gives them the power and them the mindset of this fucking salesperson. They're wanting me to tell them when they're ready so they can make a commission check. Instead of creating that obligation of them to work with you because you have deposited so much value, so much education, so much time, so much relationship into that individual that they want to use you.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference maker. And that happens through follow-up. And I promise you, if you actually focus on follow-up, your business will explode. Like this 15-hour work week is the magic bullet, like I said. Average contact attempts. I don't think I got to that. I think I tangented my way around it.
Yeah.
So the top teams right now that are up, the 30% and a 40% down market.
Yeah.
The one thing that the top teams, the top agents have in common right now, their average contact attempts is 25 plus per lead.
Whoa. Used to be 9 or 12. Now it's average 25 plus.
Not, like 7 to 12 was like the sales standard that I've heard for years. What I'm seeing in real estate for the people that are winning at the highest level is 25 plus. Oh my God, that's a lot of work. They're not all phone calls, guys. You have this cool email marketing that you do. You have text action plans. You have value you can deposit over time.
Yep.
But let's really think about this. For someone that's saying 25 times, man, I can't do that. All right, maybe you're not meant to be a real estate agent. Because that's let me break down what that is to you if you're new to the business. That is called normal. That is called a normal real estate market, a normal sales cycle. We work with people because we deposit value into the relationship. So how does that really, really work? The average online lead converts, depending on what study you look at, around 18 months. So you're telling me that you can't talk to them 1.3 times per month? That's too much work for you to help them with the biggest purchase or sale of their lives? Give me a freaking break. Come on. Does that make sense? Does that help put it in perspective? Yeah. We have it backwards. Yeah. We are fucked in the head because it was too easy for too long and we became spoiled.
18 months, follow up 25 times.
And they're not all phone calls.
Yeah. Text.
By the way, here's the perfect ratio. Yeah. 2-to-1 text to call, 2-to-1 email to call ratio. So if you really break that down, that's like 5 phone calls. Come on.
They deserve that.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can do that. That's so possible.
Yeah. So 15-hour work week. Let me recap. Yeah. Number 1, 15 minutes educating yourself on the market. The educated and informed agent will win in this marketplace. Number 2, 15-minute huddle with your team and your coach gives you enhanced accountability, learn lessons from each other. That group camaraderie is crucial in today's marketplace. Number 3, 30 minutes of role play. If you're not practicing with each other, you're practicing on your clients, and they deserve better. Number 4, 1 hour tunnel vision, power hour prospecting. It's a numbers game. And number 5, 1 hour of follow-up. The fortune always has been and always will be in the level of follow-up, the level of relationships you build with your clients. The fortune's in the follow-up. There's your 15-hour work week.
That's the magic bullet to this new market. And like you said earlier, the agents that will they do it at the end of the day?
Everyone can. So I heard this quote a year ago, and it's really stuck with me. In a changing and challenging market, everyone can win. Mm-hmm. Everyone can win, but not everyone will. Which will you be? It's your choice. Yeah. You have the power of choice. And if you're not doing this 15-hour work week, what in the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. Agents are notorious for being quote unquote busy. I would challenge you, quit being so damn busy and start being productive. Mm-hmm. Start focusing on the things that actually move the needle. Now, someone could say this and debate this with me and say, well, Matt, this would require more than a 15-hour work week because you got listing appointments, you got showings, you got consults. Yep. But don't you want those?
Yeah.
You still have 25 hours to do all that shit and be in a normal work week.
Yeah.
But we won't even do 15 hours. We'll find an excuse of not to do those 15 hours first. These 15 hours are the non-negotiables. You do it every day without fail. You do that, you win, period. And if you don't believe me, I want you to prove me wrong. I challenge you. If you don't believe me, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by doing the work for 90 days, every single day, without fail, with intent, and then come see me. Mm-hmm. But I will never hear from you because it works. Work works, period. If you want to be successful in a changing and challenging market, here's your magic bullet. 15-hour work week.
Just got chills going over now. I think you nailed it there. That is so on point there. I think we covered it.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's end it.
Guys, Colin, thank you so much for being here. Guys, thank
pleasure.
You so much for listening. I'm passionate about this subject because this is to give back to you so you will win. If you want to win, here's your secret. If I can be of service, of help, please let me know. I'm here to help. I'm here to be a resource. We will create a document out of this, Colin, to share with everyone as well. We'll create it and share it out in our private Facebook group. If you're not a part of our private Facebook group, be sure to join it. We're going to start doing some lives in there once a month and different things like that to give giveaways, exclusive content. So make sure you're part of that. We'll give you this document that breaks this down. And guys, again, this is a movement to give back. I hope this was helpful. If you found value of this, if this woke you up, if this inspired you, if this gave you the proven plan, all I ask you to do is share it with a friend. Take action. I want you to win. I believe in you. Borrow the belief that I have in you and put it in yourself because anyone can win in this market. It's just a choice. What will you choose? We'll see you next time.